The 1984 season then, getting ready to get underway. Eliodeangelis ahead of michelealboreto on the grid, Derekwarwick behind, and then alainprost. Be interesting to see what happens. DeAngelis is away well. Warwick trying to hug next to Alboreto to try to block him in to get past him. That's an interesting thing, but Alboreto now pulls out. The track is slightly damp, but everybody is on slicks. Alboreto having a look at Eliodeangelis, and that Ferrari clearly at this early stage of the race is the quickest car out there. Prost and Lauda sandwiching Nigel Mansell's Lotus at the moment, and they will be hoping to move forward in those McLarens. We don't know exactly what the McLaren pace is like, but Prost is giving a clear indication here. He is already having a look at Derekwarwick, runs a bit wide there, doesn't come off, but there's Alboreto keen to get past DeAngelis, and he goes through, so Alboreto through into the lead. Alainprost, if he wants a chance to compete for this race, he's got to get past Warwick and up to challenging DeAngelis as quickly as possible. But michelealboreto is getting clear, and Warwick has run wide, and straight past him goes Alainprost, up in the third place in the McLaren. Good driving from Prost, up into the podium places. How much further can he go in this race? He's instantly having a look at Eliodeangelis and makes his way through, but it's a bit slip-slidey, and Warwick has made a mistake there and goes off. So, and that's an issue for Lauda. I think Lauda in the second McLaren, he is out, and he's there to delay Nigel Mansell slightly there. Piquet gets through. Piquet through in the fifth place, so a bit of good fortune for the 1983 and 81 world champion. Prost is right up behind DeAngelis. He will be absolutely determined here, and there's still a Renault behind him. That must be Tom Bay, is it, who's got through there, I think. He's in the fourth then. So there is Prost still having a look at DeAngelis, and he'll be have a look, and there goes the Renault, and he's got into him. Renault is that Warwick or Tom Bay? I think that's Tom Bay. It must be Tom Bay, because Warwick got delayed behind Lauda's blow up, and no, it is Tom Bay, and Tom Bay has gone into his fellow countryman Alainprost, and he's taken him off, and it's cost Prost a whole bunch of positions. Any hope Alainprost had of challenging at the front end of this race is now gone. It's pretty spread out now. It's the only thing that was really exciting when we had those things going on, but now it's quite spread out, apart from this battle for fifth place, which Arnoux is surely about to take, and he does muscle his way past Alainprost. Not much Prost could do there. I think he is carrying definitely some damage on that car. He has got enough of a cushion to Keke Rosberg's Williams, and he should hold on to the point. But what a disappointing race for Alainprost, really. Well, Alboreto not far off of claiming the victory now. There's the determination for michelealboreto. Eliodeangelis has got Nelson Piquet catching right up to him. Prost, you can see by how quickly he is losing ground on that Ferrari that there is definitely damage to that McLaren. It's all he can do to claim a point. Piquet is running out of time, but he might just get a chance to have one look at Eliodeangelis to try to take second place, but he looked the wrong side. DeAngelis is going to hold on to that second place, but it's going to be michelealboreto who comes out of the final corner and crosses the line to win the opening Grand Prix of 1984 for Ferrari. Eliodeangelis second, Nelson Piquet third. Piquet on pole position, Keke Rosberg alongside him, looking down the hill and then through beyond to turn one, which I can't see from the start finish straight, I don't believe. There's Piquet away well, and Rosberg and Mansell away as well, and Tom Bay as well. Prost was looking to have a look initially. I don't think he's doing much. Piquet streaking clear already as Mansell is trying to pull alongside Keke Rosberg, and have a look. Rosberg is not doing very well off the line, and Mansell is through already, so Nigel Mansell is up in the second place. This could be a massive opportunity for him today. Never really had a chance to win a Grand Prix before, but he is up behind Piquet, and at the moment Mansell is quicker than Piquet. Will that remain through the race? We'll see. I think DeAngelis lost a bit of pace throughout the Brazilian race, and that Brabham was a lot quicker than the Lotus by the end, but at the moment it's Nigel Mansell who is all over Nelson Piquet, and he's going through. Nigel Mansell leads the South African Grand Prix. What a great move from Nigel Mansell. Piquet there in behind them. Rosberg is trying to hold off Tom Bay. Tom Bay has a lot to make up for because of his clumsy move on Prost in Brazil, and he is certainly looking to make up for it, but Prost is behind him looking for some sort of redemption and revenge as well. Tom Bay coming up for a move on Keke Rosberg. Will he be able to make this work down into turn one? Rosberg was passed there by Mansell last time, and he's been passed there by Tom Bay this time, and Theo Fabi has got past Alainprost. So McLaren again promising quite a bit, but then delivering very little, although Prost is having a look to try to get back through. That doesn't happen. Fabi, closes the gap, and then Rosberg is there. But look at the rate of knots at which Tombe has got up behind Mansell and Piquet, and Mansell's starting to struggle. This was happening at Rio with the Lotuses, and Piquet's having a look. He might well get the lead back. He does, right where Mansell got the lead from him before. So Nelson Piquet back into the lead, and he needs to put away, because goodness knows how quick that Renault is going to be. But I think it's going to be pretty quick. You can see it. Tombe is already looking to apply the pressure to Nigel Mansell. Mansell will be gutted, I think, because he felt there might have been a chance to win this race, but now, yeah, I think that chance has gone. The Lotus is struggling, and Mansell is only going to go backwards from here, and hopefully he can stay level. But I mean, Tombe, there's so many passing places here around Kyalami that it's very hard to resist, and Tombe is having his look as we go into the final lap now. Mansell got Tombe, and Fabi is closing up behind them as well, and Tombe makes his way past Nigel Mansell. Mansell has been passed on both occasions at places where he passed drivers earlier in the race. Tombe passes Mansell where Mansell passed Rosberg at turn 1, and Theo Fabi is right on the tail of Nigel Mansell straight away, and Tombe has caught straight up to Piquet, and he is battling for the victory. Well, it's Brabham versus Renault all over again, and Piquet, he would love to get a win, and he looked so quick in Brazil, but clearly that Renault is quick as well, and this is going to be a battle right to the flag now. There is Tombe still having a look at Nelson Piquet. They're coming down towards the finish line. Not far to go now. Fabi still trying to pass Mansell. Mansell's going to have to try to hold that off. He's just hoping he can. And there we go. We watch Nelson Piquet coming across the line to win the South African Grand Prix. Patrick Tombe straight in second place behind him. Then Mansell. Then Fabi. Then Keke Rosberg and Alainprost. What a fast and furious Grand Prix this South African race has been. So here we go. I've picked Michelealboreto's cockpit camera, because that's what happens when you try to use the TV camera here. The Zolder camera likes buildings. There we go. So Alboreto is away, and he's away well behind the garage, and now he's ahead of it as well. And great start from Alboreto. So Ferrari maintain their 1-2 as they go down to the first corner, and Rosberg is snapping at the heels in third place. So the top 6 at the moment remain unchanged. There is a change that Prost has made a bit of an advance from his 8th on the grid. He is up in the 7th, so he'll be able to trouble and challenge Manfred Winkelhock. Arnoux has a little look at Alboreto there, but at the moment Michelealboreto very much knows exactly what he wants to do, and he is intending to do it quite clearly. There goes Arnoux, still trying to have a look at Alboreto. Clearly he is a little bit quicker than Michele at the moment, but Michelealboreto has the lead. He also has far more points in the World Championship after the first 2 races. So Ferrari may well choose. Oh, and Arnoux, though, is getting very muscular, and Alboreto has to hold him off, because René Arnoux, if Ferrari do want to benefit Alboreto for the sake of the Drivers' Championship and the fact that he is ahead in the points, well, Arnoux has certainly missed that memo, or does not want to read it, because he is very much still chasing Michelealboreto there, very much with the intention of passing him. Of that I am sure. Rosberg is keeping up with the Williams. That's really impressive from Williams so far, keeping up those Ferrari turbos, and you can really hear the turbo engines roar around here in Zolder as well, so keep an ear out for that. And there goes Arnoux, and Arnoux's run wide, and Rosberg is coming for a look here, and Keke Rosberg gets inside. That's Rosberg in the Williams up in the 2nd position, and what a move that has been. We have to look behind the garage, but Arnoux has simply out-dragged him. That Ferrari has so much power, and René Arnoux simply out-drags Keke Rosberg and keeps going. Alboreto at the moment is holding firm, although we are now coming back into the section of the circuit where Alboreto is strong, and he's going to have another look here, I think. And Arnoux once again getting very muscular and firm with the Michelealboreto. I wonder if he's going to be in trouble with the team after this race, because he is almost certainly going beyond what is acceptable to do with your teammate, especially at this stage of the race, and he's been like it for the whole race so far. Alboreto continues to lead. Arnoux is still in 2nd, and Keke Rosberg is still holding on in 3rd place. Here comes Arnoux again. We know he likes to get his elbows out into this corner, and again trying to push, but that time he just risked losing his front wing or giving his teammate a puncture. That was pure reckless from René Arnoux that time. Well, here we go. Alboreto still leads to come into the final turn, but no! The engine is going! I don't believe it. Alboreto, can he hold on? I don't think he can. I don't think he's got enough grunt to get him through. Arnoux passes him. Rosberg passes him. DeAngelis I don't even think Alboreto's going to get a point. Arnoux wins the race. Rosberg is second. Alboreto crosses the line, but down in 9th position. What heartbreak for the Italian in the Ferrari at the very last hurdle of the Grand Prix. The very, very last hurdle. Michele Alboreto goes out, and Arnoux gets that victory. So Piquet sitting on pole, looking down towards turn 1 of the Tamburello, and Prost alongside him. He will hope for something today, but Piquet, when he starts on pole, he's got a very quick car anyway, and he'll be hard to beat. Let's see, Piquet away well, and it's very, very foggy out there at the minute. There's a lot of spray. We say it'll dry up quickly, but the fact that these cars are on slicks is absolutely mind-boggling. But Piquet there, he is still leading away nicely. Prost in second place, Rosberg ahead of Warwick, and then Lauda, and then Arnoux. But Prost gets a hell of a run off that corner, and he's having a look now at Nelson Piquet, and Prost is through to the lead. Well, this race could go a lot better for McLaren in the first 3 then. Prost in the lead and already pulling away, and Piquet's attention instantly turns to Keke Rosberg behind him as Prost leads into the chicane, and Piquet's really trying to hold off Rosberg. And then there's Lauda, and then Arnoux behind him. And that's the McLaren of Prost there. What on earth's happened there? Oh wow, he must have made a mistake and spun off. Must have hit a wet patch. Prost has his best race all season so far, and then goes and throws it away. It's still pretty sprayy down there, but things are picking up a little bit. And oh, there's Alboreto gone into the back of Winkelhock, and he's been hit from behind by Fabi as well. So Michele Alboreto, all the work he's done, but yet he's still only going to have 9 points from the opening race, and that's all he's going to get, because Michele Alboreto is very much out of this Grand Prix, and there is a lot of disappointment for the Tifosi there. They're going to hope that Renearnoux can do a job against Lauda, but there goes through Rosberg on Piquet. Matt Williams has some good pace, and Keke Rosberg, now he will hope that he won't do what alainprost did, and that he will keep that Williams on the road, because this is a win there to be had, and Rosberg would love to win this race for sure. Piquet has found some grip all of a sudden as the track begins to dry more and more. That Brabham comes back into play. He was holding on, wasn't he, through most of the first 2/3 of the Grand Prix, but now we're in the final stretch, and Piquet has pace, although he's almost made a mistake and allowed Derekwarwick to get a run at him there. He has covered it, Nelson Piquet, and he's still got a chance to attack Piquet. Rosberg now. This is where the action and the lead changes happen, and Piquet, is he even going to wait for that corner? He's trying to move before they even get there. Well, no, he's back there, but he knows that this is the passing place. He's even passed there twice. This time Piquet does the passing, gets back into the lead. Nikilauda covers Arnoux, but then steps out of the back, gets away with it. Arnoux is still behind him, and there goes Tombe having a look at DeAngelis. That's for 6th place, and still at the moment eliodeangelis holds that position. Rosberg now, I think he might have just used his tyres up, because he has gone from leading the Grand Prix quite confidently to now being under all sorts of pressure from Derekwarwick in 3rd place. And Lauda, I think, now fancies his chances at maybe just sneaking onto that podium. Well, Warwick, he'll have a look at Rosberg. I think that might be the final chance to have a look. Piquet is off. Piquet is off, and he is finally taken off into the lead. And all race long he's been defending, but come the final part of the race, that is a Tyrrell that's already retired there. That's not anymore. But here comes Piquet now. What a great finish to the race, and a fantastic victory for Nelson Piquet. He wins the San Marino Grand Prix and goes 8 points clear in the World Championship, ahead of who is now Keke Rosberg in 2nd place. Fantastic weekend for Piquet and Brabham. So here we go then. So there's Patrick Tombe on pole position, eliodeangelis behind him, and then Nelson Piquet behind him in 3rd on the grid. We'll wait for those lights to go out. They go out now, and Tombe away well. Piquet looks instantly like he's got a lot of pace, but his path is firmly blocked by that Renault, and that should mean that DeAngelis is able to hold position at the moment. Going down to turn 1, actually has a little look at the Renault. Doesn't work out, but Piquet has got a little bit of a run down the inside of eliodeangelis. Will DeAngelis hold on? He does. Manages to hold the line, and seeing this track, it gives me lots of happy memories of watching the Arnoux-Villeneuve battle of 1979, and hopefully we'll see some more action like that today. And Tombe leads as we go around lap 1. There you got DeAngelis, then Piquet, then Rosberg, then Mansell. Mansell has got ahead of Prost, and look at Piquet right up on the tail of DeAngelis now. But it's all getting very messy in there, and Piquet almost goes to DeAngelis and squeezes, and DeAngelis is squeezing past Tombe. Piquet loses some ground, He has to now put up and defend from Keke Rosberg, but DeAngelis has got into the lead of the French Grand Prix. This could be an opportunity for Lotus to win a race this season. In this closing lap of the French Grand Prix, DeAngelis still leading Tom Bay, and Piquet has made a mistake, and Rosberg has got past him. I think we did see that, but I didn't kind of pick up on it. But Piquet, not only has Rosberg got past him, but he's under pressure from Nigel Mansell now. So we thought Piquet would be a dominant force in this race and applying pressure to everybody. But as the race closes to a conclusion, it's actually Piquet who is struggling somewhat. And well, Mansell was under a bit of pressure from Warwick, but he should be able to hold on. Eliodeangelis, though, he is going to come across the line to claim the victory in the French Grand Prix. Great victory for Eliodeangelis. Patrick Tambay finishes second in the Renault. Keke Rosberg holds on a third. He will close in on Nelson Piquet by a point, but I think that Eliodeangelis will get ahead of Rosberg, so he'll actually be the closest guy to the world champion in the World Championship at the moment. So there sits Prost on pole. Clear view down to Sandevot. He's got Nigel Mansell alongside, renearnoux behind. This is a big opportunity for Prost today. Will he finally get some luck and win a race? Or will somebody else shine through? And Prost there, Mansell trying to come on the outside, but he's going to get crowded out. And that might just give Arnoux a chance to attack. It doesn't, they all settle down. Prost continues to lead out of turn one. Then it's Nigel Mansell. Prost still searching for his first victory for McLaren, his first podium for McLaren in actual fact. But a victory would be the best way to do it if he wants to pull himself into that championship battle. And Prost still leading Mansell and Arnoux and Alboreto in the Ferraris as they come down, and they're already pulling out a little bit of a gap over those Renaults. Prost is going to have to weather this storm. It's not like he's not used to being in the lead and weathering storms in Formula 1. He's going to have to dip into that experience here. Nigel Mansell not quite so experienced at running at the front. Had an opportunity in Kyalami, but he's going to want to have him. Prost clips tails on the wall. Mansell has clipped that harder, and has he got an issue? Yes, Mansell has lost his front wing. So that potentially blows the race for Nigel Mansell. He won't be challenging Prost now. Prost has the opportunity to get away, and perhaps finally Prost has some good luck this season. Arnoux is up there. Look, there's a stopped car, and there's another one going slowly. Well, we heard they were saying a lot of cars going out. All the back markers have created chaos. A lot of them barely moved. Look, one of the Renaults has lost his front wing. That's Warwick, and there is a lot of chaos going on here. Is that Ginzani or Gartner? I'm not sure, but Boots in there as well. And look, there's Prost is being delayed. So is Arnoux. They're all being delayed, and Mansell is able to stay in the battle. Therefore, this is a bit of a let off for Nigel Mansell at the moment. But look, it's Arnoux who is going to get through that traffic first. He has stolen a march on alainprost. So Prost again does have wretched luck. He's still in second, but renearnoux gets away into the lead. Prost is still second. Mansell will be trying to hold position. And look at the chaos, the sheer chaos there. De Cesaris gets through. I think Piquet got away with that. Piquet has actually got through and improved his position quite nicely. But that's not the case with Nelson Piquet. He is applying all sorts of pressure to michelealboreto's Ferrari. Nelson Piquet knows there's an opportunity, but he spun it. And well, was that the last remaining battle in the top six? Is Piquet going to be able to keep going? I think so, but well, that was a bad error for Piquet. Yeah, look back, that's Tom Bay in the Renault in fifth position, so he's quite a way back from Piquet. Piquet should have no issues recovering. He's still going slowly though. He's getting on with it now, but well, that's an unfortunate situation for Piquet. renearnoux, though, down at the Harbour front chicane. He's got half a lap to go before he claims the victory in the Monaco Grand Prix. It's renearnoux closing in on the Monaco Grand Prix victory. Here he comes, round two. Raskas for the final time, taking himself through there, taking himself out of there into Anthony Nose, and there's more back markers. It might still be an issue. Prost might have a final chance to catch up. Arnoux is struggling past them. Prost is closing in. Where will this end up? How will this end up? Prost passes Boutsen, but Arnoux is going to hold on, and renearnoux wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Alain Prost comes close in the end, only 9/10 off. Well, at least there's a confidence boost and a podium for McLaren. Arnoux wins, Prost second, Alboreto in third. But here we go, we're ready to start the race. So Piquet on pole, Prost in second, but Johansson, thanks to the game, sitting just in front of them. So, and then you've got, I think, DeAngelis and Warwick there. Well, Johansson gets away quite well, but Piquet isn't going to mess about. Piquet straight through, and will Prost get through as well? Johansson covers it. So now what happens is that Johansson covering Prost. This gives Nelson Piquet a chance to get away and really pull out a championship lead. Remember, he's already 6 points clear in this World Championship, and Prost is under pressure from Warwick. Sorry, I keep thinking Johansson's a back marker. The Ferraris are 6th and 7th. Johansson, half spin. Well, Prost wasn't able to take advantage. Johansson had the line pretty well blocked. That'll certainly give Piquet a bit more space though. And look at that, that's one of the Ferraris running wide. Has he caused himself some damage there, renearnoux? Is there any damage to the rear suspension? We will keep observing that situation. DeAngelis just ahead, say the Lotus is sandwiching the Ferraris at the minute, but Johansson is standing up for himself very, very well. He's still in 2nd place, and this might well give him a chance to get something from this Grand Prix. Prost goes through in the 2nd place, but Johansson, if he stands up for himself that well, he's going to be able to get a point or two by the end of the race, surely. It's likely a pretty straightforward run to the flag now, which, well, maybe not for Piquet because Prost is there, but Prost, again, once he gets into the Brabham's dirty air, he loses traction, and that's the 2nd time Prost, excuse me, the 2nd time Prost has had a moment today, just as he was on the verge of applying pressure to Nelson Piquet, and it gives Piquet the breathing space he needs. Johansson is under pressure again after Warwick backing off for a little while, but again running out of time. Prost trying everything, you can see, taking a little bit of grass as he exits that corner to try to get a run at Piquet. Prost would love his first win of the season, but Piquet has controlled this race absolutely majestically since the start, and I don't think he's intending to give that up now, Nelson Piquet. Prost has actually dropped back at the crucial moment where he needs to be up with Piquet. That, it really is the race over, and Johansson having a cheeky little look around the outside of the McLaren now. He's still in the podium. Piquet then, he will come down and cross the line and win the Canadian Grand Prix and extend his World Championship lead to 15 points. So there's Piquet on the front row. There's Mr. Happy Man again. Check his little smiley face out, and the guy in the cool little green dad hat behind him. But there goes, there we go, we're off the line. Piquet, there he goes, away, and Prost, and Mansell getting around the outside of Prost. Well, this is an opportunity potentially for Lotus, and Mansell can do that, but Prost holds the inside line and stays ahead of the Lotus out of turn 1 as Nelson Piquet leads the field. Prost having a little look now at Piquet and almost clips the barrier. Got to be careful of that. It's very easy to lose your front wing round here, and alainprost to be mindful of that, as will everybody else. And it's very easy to throw away, even to throw away a win here by doing that. So Piquet, therefore, is driving cautiously. He has got the track position. It's hard to pass on the street circuit. He will use that to his advantage, and he will potentially back the field at the pace that he wants to go at. Although Prost clearly wants to go quicker, clearly wants to find a way through, but Nelson Piquet right now is holding on. Anything can change in an instant, in an absolute instant. You look at how the back markers were all running slow and held Prost up, and ended up giving the win to renearnoux. Mansell having a little look at Prost there, and Prost getting quite slidey, but he does hold on. Yeah, it was to say, remember back to Monaco and how those very slow back markers paid. Oh, Prost having another look there, but not happening, nothing doing there. But Piquet still leading Prost, and then there's Mansell and Alboreto. DeAngelis still in 5th place. Prost, this is where we know Prost and Mansell are quite strong, and Piquet isn't. Down into turn 1. Is there going to be a move coming from Prost? No, he's too far back. Mansell, Mansell in a half slide. Is he going to be able to recover that? Has he got front wing still? He has. Miraculously, Nigel Mansell recovers it and is still in a position with no damage, and Prost having a serious look. We cut away briefly, but back, and Piquet once again holds on. So although there's been no shifts in position, this is still a very good race to watch. Still, it's maybe excitement because of what might happen rather than what is happening, but what might happen is still a very intriguing possibility. But Nelson Piquet is about to lead through the final chicane. Still the positions haven't changed, but it's not been for lack of trying. Nelson Piquet is going to win the Detroit Grand Prix to open up a 23-point cushion in the World Championship. So what can Nigel Mansell do? He's had a couple of opportunities to win races or compete for race wins this year. Hasn't got his way so far. He'll hope he can change that here in Dallas. Mansell away, but DeAngelis away better, and Mansell already down into 2nd. Arnoux getting past Warwick, and Nigel Mansell will be hoping he can do so. Arnoux has touched Mansell, and Mansell is off, and Mansell spins in front of the pack. It's chaos, absolute chaos already here in Dallas, and so many cars and drivers picking up damage, losing front wings, losing rear wings, all sorts of things. Ayrton Senna's amazing qualifying has ruined. He's lost his rear wing. Prost missing a front wing, I think. Is that Barbie or Piquet missing something? Renearnoux is missing a front wing as well. So DeAngelis leads, and leads very nicely. He has got a nice comfortable advantage. What can is that Derekwarwick in second? I believe it should be, should be. Renearnoux is missing his front wing, so's Barbie, and so is Prost. So it seems like a lot of cars picked up damage from that first corner, and there's Rosberg. He hasn't got any damage, I don't think. He will be pushing for this. And look at Senna. Having to go carefully, but he's not gone out of the race in spite of the damage, and he is still in the top 10. Rosberg now. He has got to make a move. He has got a car that's not got damage. He's got a chance. Oh, we say that, and Rosberg has just lost his front wing trying to go inside Prost. That's a ridiculous way to throw away your fantastic opportunity to do well in a race. I mean, at least fourth place is there for the taking, and Rosberg, I mean, he's now in the same boat as everybody else. Renearnoux crawling around slowly. I think everybody's crawling around slowly because they've got damage. This is a crazy situation, and Warwick got damage now? I didn't think he had, but look, DeAngelis there with no damage, and neither's Lauda, so those two of the undamaged cars, and Lauda has pace, but Lauda's now taking his front wing off as well. I don't believe it. This is a crazy, crazy race. Is anybody going to get to the end of this Grand Prix without sustaining damage? Nikilauda, a chance to win the Grand Prix, and he's just picked up damage, and that's it. Well, Renearnoux pits, and everybody's going in the pits, but I think some are electing to stay out. Warwick hasn't pitted. I don't think Senna's pitted. This race is absolute chaos personified. I've never known such a chaotic race in real life or in a game. This is ridiculous. I think there's not many cars who haven't picked up damage. I mean, DeAngelis hasn't. I don't think Schura has. So are they the only two who haven't got damage? I mean, Lauda's got damage, but he's carrying on. The same with Warwick. The same with Renearnoux as well. Well, actually, I think Renearnoux might have repaired his car. He's a long, long way back, though. Renearnoux, yeah, he has repaired his car. So, but he certainly was missing the front wing earlier in the race. And look, there we go. They're all missing bits of their cars. And Piquet is ahead of Senna. The crazy thing is, so many cars picking up damage that if these guys can just outlast everybody else, well, I think he was missing the front wing anyway, Alboreto, so it won't make a bit of difference. And there's Prost. He has repaired his car, and well, mind you, he's flipped the wall. Has he lost the front wing again? Let's have a look when we can. And there's Prost has flipped the wall. Oh yeah, he's lost the front wing again. It's even more ridiculous now. Oh well, this is come on, that's the spin. Is that the Williams of? Is that Lafitte? I think. I think that's Lafitte. I don't think Rosberg's got a black helmet. I think it is Lafitte. But there's some cars that are repaired, including Keke Rosberg now. They're all trying to make their way through, and this is absolute chaos because they've now got to make their way through cars that are absolutely out of crawl. And the race just gets crazier and crazier. And there's DeAngelis now trying to navigate through the back markers. This is where he risks picking up some damage. So far, he is the car that's undamaged, and at the moment he still is undamaged. This is a great opportunity for DeAngelis to close the World Championship battle in, because Piquet is one of many cars with damage. Like I say, I think it's only DeAngelis and Schura who haven't picked up any damage in this race, and it's just, yeah, I've not known a Grand Prix like it. This is hilarious and chaotic in equal measure. And DeAngelis, he goes through, and I think Tom Bate puts himself in the wall and then runs wide, trying to stay out of the race leader's way. And there's DeAngelis still leading, and Lauda's in second place behind him, but without a front wing. Renearnoux does have a front wing, and he's in third. There's Derekwarwick. He's got his car repaired, and there's Gerhard Berger in sixth place, and I think he is without a front wing as well. And look, Senna and Chicotto. Chicotto's got no front or rear wing. I mean, normally cars just retire, I think, when they lose rear wings in the games, but they obviously, the AI, feel that there's a chance of scoring points because so many cars are just totaling themselves. And this is how it goes. And look at that, Patrese going very, very cautiously through that corner, and DeAngelis having to work his way through. DeAngelis is lapping these guys, remember, so I think he's won the race, hasn't he? Isn't it 3 laps? This race over already, so wow. EliodeAngelis wins the Grand Prix. We didn't even notice him crossing the line because there's so many damaged cars to talk about, basically. Yeah, this is like a supermarket car park on a Sunday. Or I think that's how the phrase goes. But yeah, it's eliodeangelis, he takes the victory. A very good victory for eliodeangelis. Nikilauda finishes second, half a minute down with no front wing. Renearnoux finishes third, having had to have repairs. Mark Shearer finishes fourth. The only other driver not to damage his car, I think Warwick, had a repaired car in fifth place, and I think Gerhard Berger finished sixth without a front wing. So, yeah, chaos. Well, here's Piquet, and he is off the line. He's up against Prost, and Piquet gets away well, and Prost is behind still, and he's going to have to tuck in behind, I think. But having a look, and Lauda going for it on the Lotus. Is that eliodeangelis? Yes, I think so. And Prost having a look up the inside of Piquet already, and through goes Alain Prost into the lead. Now I believe he is still yet to take a victory this year, so Prost would love to do it today. McLaren have been edging closer and closer. Prost had a lot of second places lately. Well, this is the time for him to try to get that win, I think. Piquet at the moment seeming to be struggling. eliodeangelis is giving him a problem, and it's certainly a problem that Piquet does not want to have, as Alain Prost continues to lead. Piquet in second, starting I think to get away from that Lotus a bit there. And there's Lauda, well, saying getting away, but then DeAngelis fancies his chance around the next corner, but then he runs out wide, DeAngelis, and that's going to give Lauda a chance to come back at him, and nikilauda returns back through into third place. So McLaren looking very good in this race. They're running 1 and 3. They qualified well. Normally the Lauda at least is having to come through, but they've qualified well here. They are looking in very good shape for this Grand Prix, and Lauda might even, Piquet runs wide, Lauda might make it to McLaren 1-2 if he's going to have a run, and Piquet's going to have to work harder because nikilauda is going for it, but Piquet gets more acceleration. I think the engine of that brabham just keeping him ahead of nikilauda, and Piquet actually has had an extra boost, and he's now going to look down the inside of Prost, and he's going to take that position back. So McLaren were in a position where they could have been running 1-2, and they could have had a stable lockout on Nelson Piquet to stop him getting back into P1, but that didn't happen. Lauda failed to pass Piquet, and then Piquet got the extra run and managed to pass Prost, and Prost actually at the moment is struggling himself, and nikilauda is applying pressure to Alain Prost. Prost in actual fact is displaying some pace again, and McLaren have got to approach this with full aggression. There is going to be one more lap to go, and Alain Prost needs to try to pass Nelson Piquet. nikilauda is back in shape there, and DeAngelis as well is in shape for it. There's Warwick, there's Mansell, the two Brits fighting for top Brit position here, and they are going at it with each other. Well, Prost continues to attack Piquet while having to defend from Lauda. McLaren are really trying to ensure they win this race, and Prost is going to try to do it again, where the lead has changed already twice in this Grand Prix, and Prost gets through. So Nelson Piquet now, can he come back at him, or is he going to be defending a rearguard action against nikilauda? This we shall see. DeAngelis though is starting to think about having a move at that McLaren again, and Prost continues to lead as Lauda and DeAngelis runs very, very wide, and he's hit the wall, I think. I don't know how he didn't get any damage. There's a Ferrari in the background doing the same thing, but that enables Derekwarwick to get through, and that is going to make it more difficult now for Mansell to pass Warwick, because Mansell is likely going to have to hold station behind his teammate, because DeAngelis second in the championship and Mansell is quite a bit further back than that. So here comes Prost. We are coming towards the finish line, and Alain Prost still holds the lead. It may finally be a first victory of 1984 for McLaren, and Alain Prost, I don't know why we're watching Piquet, but Alain Prost crosses the line and wins the British Grand Prix. Nelson Piquet, he fought hard, but second was what he could manage in the end. Couldn't beat Prost today. McLaren looking very strong. Lauda in a strong looking third place as well. So let's see what Alain Prost can do then. Can he get a second win in a row? He'll certainly be aiming for it, and I don't think he'll be too worried about the likes of DeAngelis and the Renaults behind him. He might be worried if Piquet gets a strong start, but Prost pulls away strongly. DeAngelis trying to cover from that Renault. What's going on there is I'm not sure if, I think Warwick's held position over Tom Bay, but has he managed to get through? I don't think he has. So Prost leading comfortably, then it's DeAngelis, and then you have the two Renaults, Derekwarwick leading Patrick Tambay, Nelson Piquet still in fifth place, michelealboreto having a look around, but so is nikilauda. They all want to try to do something in this race. Let's see, there goes DeAngelis, he's having a run at Alain Prost, and I think he's already clearing the McLaren. So if Prost hasn't got a problem, then he's got to worry, because that Lotus is clearly quick, and the McLaren doesn't seem to have much race pace, because he has got Derekwarwick all over him now as well. But here comes Warwick, and he's not quite managed to find a way past Prost, but he won't give up. He knows that that car is quick, and in fact Renault, I feel, will probably feel that they could challenge for the win if they could get past Alainprost. That is the big stumbling block. Prost is not going to be easy to pass, and Warwick needs to keep trying. DeAngelis getting the lead, but Warwick now gets through on Alainprost. How much pace does that Renault have? I'll be very interested to see. Well, Warwick's already challenging DeAngelis, and he's already going for it, but he had to get on the grass, and that's delayed him slightly. Clearly, that Renault does have a lot of pace, and Derekwarwick is applying pressure to eliodeangelis. We're halfway through the race nearly, and DeAngelis will hope to hold on to the lead because he's trying to catch up to Nelson-Piquet in the championship, who currently is still in 5th place. Nelson-Piquet will want to get further up the grid to limit the damage should eliodeangelis win this race. But eliodeangelis might not, because Warwick is in a strong position. That Renault is working so well here this weekend, and Warwick goes through into the lead, and Piquet has passed Prost at the same time. So now the two tighter rivals, they are now right next to each other. There is no sign of a big gap like was earlier in the race, and DeAngelis might actually struggle to hold position over Piquet. Piquet's right there now, and look at Fabi. He's grabbing the 5th, and he is putting pressure on Alainprost, who is dropping back again now. Keep those Ferraris behind him, and Lauda I think was dropped down to that 9th position. Here goes Piquet though, through on DeAngelis and straight through, no messing about. Let's pick up there. Fabi runs wide. That might deny him the opportunity to have a go at Alainprost, as now it's going to put him back under pressure from Patrick Tambay. What a great race we are seeing here. But there is a back marker. Piquet has got through on Warwick. Piquet takes the lead, but then gets delayed by the Tyrrell that's clearly struggling with some sort of issue, and Warwick gets back through. Wow, Piquet could have won this race from 5th on the grid, but the back marker's delayed him. We've only got one corner to go, and there's another back marker there. Will it open it up and change it again? Warwick trying to hold on, trying to place his car, and I think he can place his car. He's getting alongside, and Piquet nearly taken off by the back marker going to the pits, but he does get through. But Derekwarwick is going to win the German Grand Prix. A first victory of the season for Renault, a first career victory for Warwick. An absolutely fantastic performance. Got a little bit lucky after Piquet passed him, but he won't care. He needed the win, he got the win. Piquet in 2nd still extends his championship lead. So here we go then, Nelson-Piquet. He is getting ready on the grid. He's got a clear view in front, but he's got Alainprost, who will want to take that clear view from him as soon as possible. Prost having won in Britain, not so lucky in Germany, didn't have the race pace, but Piquet is away very well indeed, and Prost already sitting there behind him, and not much he can do. And DeAngelis trying to have a look back in 3rd. Well, there's Prost, there's that. DeAngelis has been hit by the Renault. What Renault was it? That was the one Renault. I'm assuming from his record of collisions this year, it's probably Tambay. Lauda gets through, but without a front wing. DeAngelis is through without a rear wing, and look at all the chaos. Not the first time we've seen chaos this season. Fabi has lost a great qualifying position. Rosberg gets through, but is pulling onto the grass, so that's a bit bizarre what's going on there. But that Renault is clearly going nowhere, and I believe that is Patrick Tambay, because Derekwarwick I think is still running. You can see Streff at the back there trying to make moves, but this is all very, very chaotic. That's Rosberg, and I think now one of the ATSs, don't know if it's Finkelhock or Berger, but one of them is out. But there is a clear advantage there for Nelson-Piquet and Alainprost. Everyone else got badly delayed, which means that Lauda and DeAngelis at the moment able to run clearly in 3rd and 4th. But Derekwarwick's got a car that is fully working behind him, and he would love to add to that German win with a podium here. And Nigel Mansell running as well. And look at Senna. He is in 7th. That could be a net 5th place for if or when they catch Lauda and DeAngelis up. So Senna, really, he's got a great chance of points today, the best chance of the season for the young Brazilian, and he will do absolutely everything he can to take it. But look, there goes Warwick through on DeAngelis and coming up to nikilauda very, very quickly. And to be honest, if Lauda and DeAngelis can't, and there's Mansell going through and his teammate in the background, and Lauda getting very slidey. Well, there is Senna holding back. Well, Senna, Lafita's got past Senna, but Senna holding back. I think is it renearnoux in that Ferrari, michelealboreto, and then Tia Fabi behind, and through goes Jonathan Palmer on the Ocella, and they're up fighting for the 11th, 12th position, so not running badly for them at all. Here comes Alboreto. Senna trying to get the first point of his career, but he's got Alboreto and Fabi absolutely very keen indeed to take those points in much quicker cars Senna is going to have to do an absolute miracle here if he is going to hold on. And here comes Nelson Piquet, and he crosses the line to win the Austrian Grand Prix. We've not seen a lot of Piquet and Prost in this race because they were so far ahead, but that win does count, and Piquet is the race winner, and that's going to put him 28 points clear. So there we go, the grid girls are gone, the visitors to the grid are gone, and it is all about time to race now. Prost and Piquet on that front row, Prost getting away well, and DeAngelis having the best start of all, but it's a narrow track and he's got nowhere to go to attack Prost comfortably, maintaining that lead into turn one. DeAngelis will try to have a look at Piquet, but Nelson makes sure he's got that covered, because at the very least he wants to ensure that he only needs a 5th place in Monza to win that World Championship. Prost has got a little bit of a gap at the moment, not massive, but ever looking for it. He got the 2 Renaults behind, and then nikilauda in 6th position with Keke Rosberg and Jacques Lafitte in those Williams behind the McLaren. We know that Brabham can sometimes just suddenly change and apply pressure again, as is happening now. And Piquet is clear of DeAngelis, and he's pulling alongside Alain Prost. This could be the moment as they come down the home straight. Piquet is about to go into the lead, and this will put Nelson Piquet into World Championship winning position. Prost needs to try to continue to apply the pressure, because he does not want to see this World Championship slip away, but realistically it's been Piquet's since the very early stages of the season, and it looks like it is going to return to the 1983 World Champion. It looks like it's going to be 2 titles in a row. BMW engine's got so much power, as soon as he can get the foot down, he is away, and now it looks like DeAngelis is going to try to do what Piquet did to Prost last time, and that will truly put Prost out of it. Has DeAngelis got any pace to attack Piquet? Should he get through, which he has done? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Prost under pressure, might not even finish on the podium. It's another of those races like Hockenheim where the McLaren is lacking race pace, and this is going to hamper Alain Prost severely. Piquet is looking more and more likely. Oh, DeAngelis having another look. He is determined. He wants to keep his hopes alive. He was second for the majority of the mid-season, and he wants to get back into second and back ahead of Alain Prost and continue taking the fight on for another race to his home Grand Prix at Monza. But Piquet looks pretty secure now as they close in, and Prost is under pressure, might not even get the podium. Piquet coming across the line. Piquet wins the World Championship in 1984 with 3 races to spare. Eliodeangelis, and there is a Renault ahead of Prost, but did Warwick pass Prost before or after the start-finish line? So here is Piquet staring straight down the track. He knows that he wants to turn P1 on the grid into P1 in the race and continue to dominate this season. He's been getting more and more dominant throughout as we've been going on, but here today he's got to fight Prost and DeAngelis down to the first corner. It looks like Piquet will be able to do that, but we shall soon see, because it's not decided until it's decided. But look, Piquet is comfortable indeed. Then there's Prost and Lauda, and Fabi already having a go at Lauda. Fabi clearly does want to make the most of this opportunity, because finally he has qualified that Brabham up in the top 6, and he senses an opportunity to help Brabham secure the Constructors' Championship and to secure a podium for himself, potentially, although he's going to have a hard job getting up with Prost and DeAngelis, I think. But it looks to me like McLaren, and there's Fabi. He has indeed got inside nikilauda, and Rosberg sneaks his way inside nikilauda, so Keke Rosberg up to 5th place in the Williams, having a decent race there. DeAngelis having a look at Prost, but Fabi is trying to have a look at both of them, because he knows that he has got the pace. He is seeking to make it a Brabham 1-2 at his home Grand Prix to finally get a strong result. I wonder if Piquet would move over for him if he got there. No one else to Piquet? The answer to that is no. But you never know. We'll see. Prost leading. Prost not leading, but leading DeAngelis in 2nd place. And DeAngelis now, though, forcing his way through. He's got so much pace, and Fabi will try to get involved and not lose too much time with DeAngelis here. And Fabi straight down the inside of Prost there. And clearly that McLaren with no race pace absolutely whatsoever. Mansell has got past Lauda as well. And look at Alboreto. Might have qualified poorly, but he is currently in 8th place on the grid. Very much competitive proposition. Fabi trying to make it the Brabham 1-2, and I think he's going to do it. He's alongside DeAngelis. DeAngelis working hard at Guts. He's cut the line, and Fabi having to work hard. And I think he's got the Lotus though. Yes, he has. Fabi is through in the 2nd place. But for now, we're going to go back and we're going to look at Nelson Piquet, a guy we've not seen an awful lot of in this race because he has just simply been so far ahead. But Nelson Piquet now comes across the line to win the Italian Grand Prix, and it really is now a parade for Nelson Piquet to the end of the season, showcasing everything that has made him world champion the last 2 seasons, Piquet, and really doing it with pride. So great result for Nelson Piquet. Fabi makes it a Brabham 1-2, so fantastic for Brabham. Piquet on pole, then Prost, and then we've got Patrick Tambay with his best qualifying performance of the season behind, and then Keke Rosberg. Let's see how they get away. It's strong from Piquet, strong from Prost. Mansell very strong, and having a look at Patrick Tambay. But here comes Prost having a look at Piquet. He knows there's a big opportunity here, and he wants to take it. He wants more than just the win. I think he got in Brands Hatch. I don't know if he's got any other wins. I can't remember. I think it's just the one win for McLaren and Prost this year, so he would love another one. He's had a lot of second places. Can he push it that bit further? But he has got a chance to really gain some points in ElioDeAngelis today. So, you know, how much does he want to risk it? Does he want to just make sure a second in the championship, or does he want to go for the glory of the race winner? Look at those. There's Warwick coming back inside Mansell. Mansell had a strong start, got ahead of Warwick, but Warwick now back inside the Lotus, back in the 7th position. Prost is pushing, and Tambay is in. Well, that's a total surprise. Tambay has jumped and made the decision to go on the slicks, and well, Piquet and Prost crucially have not. So this complicates things somewhat now, and it changes the order. Not a lot of the front runners have actually pitted. Rosberg is in a 3rd, then Arnoux is in 4th, the other Ferrari is pitted, and Warwick in 5th, and it's moved Riccardo Patrese up to 6th in the Alfa Romeo. Prost really does want to find a way through, but on those straight bits, Piquet is still showing the pace. I mean, through the corners, the McLaren has got far better grip in these wet conditions on these wet tyres, but when they get to the straights, Piquet should able to pull out, but Prost will try to control that by getting to the lead. He hasn't yet managed to get into the lead, and Piquet still holds on. Arnoux going through on Keke Rosberg's Williams. Arnoux deals with that one, and he is up in a 3rd. Warwick has come right onto their tail, and Patrese has got a lot of defence to do because Scherer and Berger have closed in. Scherer gets a bit slidey there, and he's had to back off a little bit, but look at this one, because, well, we're going to see Warwick trying to move on Rosberg, but we've cut to Piquet versus Prost, because again they continue to battle. This is an epic battle for the race victory. This is all about that win, and Prost has been the one guy in the second half of the season, well, DeAngelis as well I suppose, but Prost has been the one guy who has consistently been there with Nelson Piquet and stopped the season getting too dull, and he's doing it again today, trying his best. But as the track dries up, Piquet is starting to get just a little bit of an advantage. He's just eking out that little bit. And look, there's Scherer having another look at Patrese, but he might now be attacked by Gerhard Berger. Berger wants to have a look at that 6th place himself, but Scherer having a look at Patrese. This could yet change massively. They're all losing grip, and DeAngelis closing in, and the Ligier behind DeAngelis as well. Prost will be getting frustrated because he's been trying for so long to find a way through, and he just hasn't been able to do so. And Nelson Piquet continues to lead, and Warwick has dropped off the back, and there is Warwick. Sorry, Warwick has dropped off the back of Keke Rosberg. That's because he is in the gravel. He has obviously made a mistake, caught a patch of water somewhere, and that's another car off there as well. I don't know if it's not the ATS. It looked like the ATS. It's not, so it might be the other Renault of Tambay potentially. But here comes Nelson Piquet. He is going to come through, and he is going to cross the line to win the European Grand Prix. Another win for Nelson Piquet. Alainprost in 2nd, renearnoux 3rd, Keke Rosberg 4th. So there they go then. Let's have a look at the grid as they get ready to set off, and Piquet is ahead of Prost. You've got Senna and Rosberg behind them, and Piquet is away well. Prost having to tuck in behind, and if anything having to worry about defending. Well, Senna has got to defend from Rosberg. He wants to try to hold that position as long as possible, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Keke Rosberg already muscles his way through and is in a 3rd place. Prost having a look at Piquet. He is determined that Nelson isn't just going to pull away today, but there is Piquet leading. Then Rosberg having a look at, we didn't see what happened to him. Rosberg had a look at Prost. It all went wrong. He spun, and he's delaying everybody. It's allowed Senna to get back through into 3rd place, and Keke Rosberg is just delaying everybody. There, I don't know if Rosberg's going to be able to continue. I think he's probably out of the race, given how much damage and impact he's taken from being hit after his initial spin. But he tried the move on Prost. It didn't come off, and Prost now trying to move on Piquet. But look at the way Senna is keeping up with them. Senna is certainly doing himself no shame. He might have lost the position to Rosberg at the start, but he's gained it back. and he's certainly not ashamed now. DeAngelis and Mansell, and then Patrick Tambay completing the point scorers, and that's Lauda trying to get back up past Petresi, and let me see, DeAngelis is actually slower than Mansell, and Prost having a look at Piquet. He's going to try and get around the outside here. Is he going to manage it? He is. What an amazing move from Alain Prost right around the outside of Nelson Piquet. Went defensive, ended up too defensive, and he's under pressure from Ayrton Senna in the Tolman, who might feel there is a real chance to compete for the win in this race. And here comes Mansell for a look at DeAngelis. Is he going to get through? No, he's not. They've touched. Mansell spins DeAngelis and spins himself. Oh, that is not a good way for Nigel Mansell's Lotus career to end. He is going to be out of the race. DeAngelis carries on, but he's possibly got some damage there. Well, that is tragic for Lotus. Both drivers colliding with each other, taking each other off. Alboreto goes up in a 4th. Tambay is 5th, and Warwick up in a 6th place. Prost and Piquet are going to have to work out how to deal with this youngster, because Senna, he has got a lot of pace there and he wants to use it, but at the moment Prost and Piquet, they've been getting sort of slipstreams off one another, and now Piquet will try to use that slipstream, I think, to try to come back inside Alain Prost, but I think he's looking more under pressure from Senna. But the BMW engine power kicks in and Piquet is alongside. And can Prost defend this? This is going to the last lap. No, he can't. Piquet is through before they even get anywhere near the corner, and Piquet leads again. Prost back in a second. Senna now will take up the chase of Alain Prost again. The final lap of what has been an absolutely captivating, fantastic season, and that's as that Tambay tried to move on Alboreto, it did come off, and Tambay, he has been quite accident prone this year, and that's another one. Will he recover in time before his teammate comes around? It's not actually his teammate, it's eliodeangelis, who has recovered very impressively indeed. And DeAngelis now, he will want to have a look at that Renault of Tambay. He'll want to get back in the 5th place. Look at Johansson having a look at Lauda, and Lauda just pins him onto the grass. He is not interested in seeing Stefan Johansson make his name up against himself, and Lauda does not want that to happen, so he is just blocking it from happening, and Johansson gets a bit of humble pie on the grass and has to think again. But Prost is looking ever more racy with Piquet as we come into the closing stages. Senna is still there in the background, but he's not got the car of the other two. I think he is probably locked in the 3rd place, but Prost wants to try for the win, but he's run wide. Senna might be able to do it here. Senna might be able to get 2nd. He's run wide as well, and Prost cuts back. Will Senna hold on to 2nd? No, he won't. Prost gets enough advantage, but it's going to be Nelson Piquet to win the Portuguese Grand Prix. Alain Prost finishes in 2nd. Ayrton Senna 3rd place. What a race to end the season.